high-definition image. Where is it developed? It is developed in a dark room. If you expose that film to the light too early, you ruin the picture. You destroy the masterpiece before it has a chance to form. And that is exactly what you are doing to your life. You are exposing your dreams to the light of public opinion way too early. You are seeking validation for projects you haven't even finished. You are looking for a pat on the back for a workout you haven't even completed yet. It is time to go dark. It is time to disappear. This is not a punishment. This is a strategic withdrawal. It is a conscious decision to step back from the noise so you can finally hear your own voice. Blaise Pascal, a philosopher from the 1600s, said that all of humanity's problems stem from man's ability to sit quietly in a room alone. And that was 400 years ago. Imagine what he would say now. There was a study done at the University of Virginia. They put people in a room for just 15 minutes. No phone, no music, no books. Just them and their thoughts. But they gave them one option, a button that would administer a painful electric shock. You know what happened? 67% of men chose to shock themselves rather than sit in silence with their own minds. One man shocked himself 190 times in 15 minutes. That is how terrified we are of ourselves. That is how addicted we are to distraction. We would rather feel physical pain than feel the weight of our own potential unfulfilled. We would rather be zapped by the electric shock of social media, of drama, of gossip, than sit in the silence and realize we are wasting our lives. But you are going to be different. You are going to embrace the silence. You are going to stop running from the difficult times and start growing through them. You are going to realize that attention is currency. And right now you are bankrupt because you are giving your attention to everyone else except yourself. So what does 6 months look like? Why 6 months? A year feels too long. It feels like a mountain you can't climb. A month is too short. It's a fad, a diet, a blip on the radar. But 6 months, 180 days, that is the sweet spot. It is long enough to rewire your biology, but short enough to keep the urgency alive. Science tells us it takes about 66 days to form a new habit, to rewire the neural pathways in your brain so that excellence becomes your default setting. In 6 months, you can run that cycle 3 times over. You can break the chains of who you were, and you can construct the foundation of who you will become. But let me warn you, the first 30 days will be hell. Your old self will fight you. Your old habits will scream for attention. Your dopamine receptors, fried from years of scrolling and instant gratification, will beg for a hit. You will feel lonely. You will feel bored. You will feel like you are missing out. And that is the point. You have to mourn the death of your old self so the new you can breathe. You have to conduct a mirror ritual. I want you to go to the mirror, look yourself in the eyes, no music, no hype, no filter, and ask yourself, who am I pretending to be? Ask yourself, what is actually ruining my life? Be honest. Is it the alcohol? Is it the procrastination? Is it the people you surround yourself with? Oh, let's talk about the people. This is the part nobody likes to hear. If you want to disappear and change your life, you have to audit your circle. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your 5 best friends are broke, lazy, and constantly complaining, you will be the 6th. It is mathematical. It is inevitable. When you disappear, you leave behind the energy drainers. You leave behind the people who only call you when they want to get wasted. You leave behind the druggies. And I don't just mean cocaine or heroin. I mean the people addicted to drama, the people addicted to mediocrity, the people addicted to playing the victim. You have friends right now who are comfortable with your failure. They like you just the way you are because your stagnation makes them feel better about their own. When you start to change, when you start to say no to the happy hour because you have a business to build, when you say no to the gossip session because you have a mind to sharpen, they will get uncomfortable. They will say, you've changed. Good. You are supposed to change. Tell them, I'm working on a big project. I won't be accessible for a while. That project is you. And if they are real friends, They will be there when you get back. If they aren't, they were never your friends. They were just anchors holding you in the harbor. Cut the line, sail away. You have to create a cave. It doesn't have to be a literal cave in the mountains. It can be your bedroom. It can be a corner of the library. It can be your office after everyone else has gone home. But you need a place where the world cannot touch you. A place where you shut out the noise so you can tune into the signal. In this cave, you are going to perform surgery on your own mind. You are going to remove the junk, the negative news, the toxic social media feeds, the limiting beliefs that have been whispered into your ear since you were a child. Imagine you are baking a cake. You buy the best organic flour, the finest chocolate, the freshest eggs. But then, right before you put it in the oven, you drop a tiny piece of dog poop in the batter. Would you eat it? No. You would throw the whole thing out. Yet, you let toxic thoughts, fear-mongering news, and other people's doubts drop into the batter of your mind every single day, and you wonder why your life tastes like for 6 months. You are the guardian of the gate. Nothing gets in that doesn't serve the vision. You are on a strict diet, not just for your body, but for your brain. You are going to read books that scare you with their brilliance. You are going to study the masters. If you read just 10 pages a day, in 6 months, you will have read 1,800 pages. That's 7 books. 7 books of wisdom, downloading into your brain while your competition is scrolling through TikToks about cats. Who do you think is going to win in 2026? But it's not just about what you take in. It's about the work you put out. You have unfinished business. We all do. That business idea you wrote on a napkin 3 years ago, it's gathering dust. That instrument you bought and never learned to play, it's in the corner laughing at you. That body you promised you'd build every New Year's Eve for the last decade, it's still hidden under layers of comfort and excuses. You need to go back. Go back to the drawing board. Go back to the burning building of your past failures and salvage the lessons, then build something new. During these 6 months, you are going to establish a baseline. Forget about motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are fickle. Motivation is like a hot shower. It feels great while you're in it, but eventually you get cold again. I don't care if you feel like working. I care if you are disciplined enough to work when you don't feel like it. You need a baseline of activity that happens no matter what. Rain or shine, happy or sad, inspired or depressed. The work gets done. If you are a writer, you write 1,000 words. If you are an athlete, you run the miles. If you are an entrepreneur, you make the calls. You stop negotiating with yourself. The problem with most of you is that you wake up every morning and you treat your goals like a multiple choice question. Should I go to the gym today? A, yes. B, no. C, maybe later. Stop giving yourself options. The decision was made last night. The decision was made when you committed to the 6 months. When the alarm goes off at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., it is not a negotiation, it is an execution. You are going to become a machine of execution. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day, but they dramatically underestimate what they can do in 6 months. They look for the quantum leap, the lottery ticket, the viral moment. They don't understand the miracle of incrementalism. 1% better every day. It doesn't look like much on Tuesday. It doesn't look like much on Wednesday. But compound that over 180 days and you become a force of nature. You have to learn to embrace the boredom. The grind is not sexy. It is repetitive. It is quiet. It is lonely. There is no audience in the dark room. There is nobody clapping when you choose the salad over the pizza. There is nobody cheering when you read the financial report instead of watching Netflix. But this is where the separation happens. This is where the gap widens between the 1% and the 99%. The 99% are addicted to the now. They want the pleasure now. They want the comfort now. They sacrifice their future for a cheap dopamine hit in the present. But you are going to play the long game. You are going to delay gratification. You are going to train your mind to stop chasing quick pleasure. And let's talk about that physical vessel you are walking around in. your body. It is the only place you have to live. How can you command respect from the world if you cannot even command your own appetite? For 6 months, you treat your body like a temple, not a trash can. You move it every day. You lift heavy things. You walk thousands of steps, not just to look good, though you will, but to change your chemistry, to build resilience. When you are under that iron, when you are pushing through the last rep, when your muscles are screaming, you are not just building biceps. You are building a mind that refuses to quit. You are teaching yourself that pain is not a stop sign, it is a growth signal. And when you take that mentality out of the gym and into your business, into your relationships, into your finances, you become dangerous. But listen to me closely. There is a trap. The trap is the fake work. The trap is planning to work. The trap is buying the new journals, downloading the new apps, organizing the desk, and telling everyone what you are going to do. That is just procrastination in a tuxedo. You need to do the hard things, the things you are avoiding, the phone call you don't want to make, the apology you don't want to give, the project you are terrified to start because you might fail. Fear has friends, and one of its best friends is doubt. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. You are scared? Good. Do it scared. You are unsure? Good. Do it unsure. Action cures fear. Action builds confidence. You might fail. In fact, you probably will fail at some point during these 6 months. You might fall flat on your face. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before the light bulb turned on. But he didn't call himself a failure. He just found 1,000 ways that didn't work. Failing doesn't make you a failure. Quitting does. And in ghost mode, quitting is not an option. You have to adopt an anti-hustle mindset in a way, not that you aren't working hard, but that you aren't performing the hustle for others. You aren't posting the grind set quotes. You are grinding in silence. You are shocked by how much energy you have when you stop trying to impress people who don't even like themselves. Imagine the freedom of that. Imagine waking up and your only obligation is to your purpose. Your only validation comes from the mirror. Your only competition is who you were yesterday. This journey is going to require you to be selfish. And I know we are taught that selfishness is bad, but you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot help the poor if you are one of them. You cannot help the sick if you are dying. You have to secure your own oxygen mask first. You have to become strong so you can be of service. You have to build your ark before the rain starts. And the rain is coming. Life doesn't get easier. It doesn't get more forgiving. The storms will come. The economic crashes, the heartbreaks, the losses, they are coming. And if you are weak, if you are distracted, if you are living a life of quiet desperation, the storm will wash you away. But if you have spent 6 months in the dark room, if you have spent 6 months sharpening your axe while everyone else was trying to chop down the tree with a dull blade, then when the storm comes, you will stand. You will be the rock. You have to learn to say no. No is a complete sentence. No to the obligations that don't serve you. No to the peer pressure. No to the comfort zone. Every time you say no to a distraction, you are saying yes to your destiny. I want you to visualize it. Fast forward the clock. It is 6 months from today. You are walking down the street. You run into an old friend, someone who hasn't seen you since you entered ghost mode. They do a double take. They barely recognize you. Your skin is glowing because you've been drinking water and eating real food. Your posture is upright because you've been carrying the weight of discipline rather than the weight of regret. Your eyes are clear because you haven't been numbing your mind with cheap dopamine. They ask you, where have you been? What have you been doing? And you just smile. Because you know the price you paid. You know the mornings you got up when it was cold. You know the nights you went to bed early while they were out partying. You know the books you read, the journals you filled, the demons you fought and conquered in the silence of your room. You didn't just disappear. You didn't just run away. You went into the fire and you forged yourself into steel. But we are not there yet. That is the destination. Right now, you are standing at the starting line. And the starting line is terrifying. The starting line is where most people turn back. They look at the mountain and they say, it's too high, it's too hard, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is a lie. There is only today. There is only this moment. You have to identify the unfinished business. Go back to where you left off. Go back to the gym. Go back to the business. Go back to the relationship with your creator. You have to renounce the spirit of fear. You have to look your excuses in the eye. I'm too tired, I'm too old, I'm not smart enough. And you have to tell them, you have no place here anymore. This is a war. It is a war for your soul. It is a war for your potential. And you cannot win a war if you are fraternizing with the enemy. The enemy is distraction. The enemy is comfort. The enemy is the version of you that wants to stay small. Kill that version of you. Take a piece of paper. Write down the habits that are killing you. Write down the fears that are holding you back. Write down the lies you tell yourself to feel better about being mediocre. And then burn it. Destroy it. Watch it turn to ash. That person is dead. Now you are a ghost. You move in silence. You don't announce your plans. You show your results. You don't tell people you are going to write a book. You let them read it when it's done. You don't tell people you are going to get rich. You let your lifestyle speak for itself. But be warned, when you start this, you will be tested. The universe has a way of testing your resolve. The moment you make a new commitment, the car will break down. You will get sick. A family emergency will pop up. This is not a sign to stop. This is a sign that you are on the right path. The resistance only shows up when you are about to break through. If the road is easy, you're going the wrong way. You need endurance. Enthusiasm is common. Endurance is rare. Everyone is excited on day one. Everyone posts the day 1-inch selfie, but who is posting on day 43 when it's raining and you're sore and you haven't seen a result yet? Who is working on day 112 when the initial motivation has completely evaporated and all you have left is your baseline discipline? That is where the magic happens. That is where the transformation takes root. You are going to leverage isolation. Isolation is not loneliness if you use it right. Isolation is a tool. It is a shield. It protects you from the contagion of average thinking. When you are alone, you can finally think your own thoughts. You can finally dream your own dreams, not the dreams that were sold to you by a car commercial or a magazine. And in that silence, you will find a power you didn't know you had. You will find that you are stronger than you thought. You will find that you don't need the constant validation of likes and comments to feel worthy. You will find that your worth comes from your work, from your integrity, from the promises you keep to yourself. Every time you say you are going to do something and you do it, you build self-trust. And self-trust is the ultimate confidence. It's not arrogance, it's evidence. You have the receipts. You know you can rely on yourself because you have proven it in the dark, day after day after day. So are you ready? Are you ready to say goodbye to the person you have been? Are you ready to ghost the world so you can find yourself? The clock is ticking. 2026 is coming. Whether you change or not, time is the one thing you cannot get back. You can get more money, you can get new friends, you can get a new job, but you cannot get back these next 6 months. Do not waste them. Do not let them slip through your fingers like sand. Grab them, seize them, squeeze every ounce of potential out of them. Turn off the phone, lock the door, open the books, put on the running shoes, disappear. So you've locked the door, you've turned off the phone, the screen is black, the room is quiet, and now, for the first time in a decade, you are alone with the one person you have been avoiding the most, yourself. Silence is loud, isn't it? When you strip away the notifications, the likes, the endless scrolling, and the cheap dopamine hits, you are left with a deafening void. In the first week, this void will feel like it is crushing you. You will feel an itch in your fingers to reach for a device that isn't there, to check on people who aren't checking on you, to seek validation from strangers who don't even know your middle name. You are going through withdrawal. You are a junkie detoxing from the drug of distraction. And this is exactly where most people break. They feel that crushing boredom, that anxiety of missing out, and they run back to the noise because the silence forces them to look at their own reflection. But you are going to sit in that fire. You are going to let it burn away the dependency. You have to realize that you have been operating in a state of constant overstimulation. Your brain has lost the ability to focus because every time you hit a wall of difficulty, you reached for a distraction. A study showed that it takes 23 minutes to regain deep focus after a single interruption. 23 minutes, and you were getting interrupted every 5. You were never actually working. You were just busy. You were confusing movement with progress. Now that the noise is gone, we have to build your baseline. This is critical. Listen to me. Motivation is a liar. Motivation is a hot shower. It feels good for 10 minutes, but then you get cold again. You cannot build a legacy on a feeling that fluctuates with the weather or how much sleep you got last night. You need a baseline of discipline that operates on autopilot. You need to establish a standard of performance that happens whether you feel like a lion or a mouse. For the next 180 days, you are adopting the warrior hour. This isn't about complex rituals. It's about raw, primitive grounding. Set a timer for 60 minutes. For 20 minutes, you move your body with intensity. Push-ups, running, cold shower, shock the system awake. For the next 20 minutes, you dump your mind onto paper. You write down the fear, the anger, the unfinished business that has been haunting you. And for the final 20 minutes, you sit in absolute silence, no music, no guided meditation app, just you breathing, observing the chaos of your mind until it settles into a flat lake. This hour is your anchor. When the rest of the world is rushing to react to emails and breaking news that won't matter in a week, you are already centered. You are proactive, not reactive. And let's talk about that body you're living in. During this ghost mode, your body is not a playground. It is a temple. You wouldn't walk into a holy temple and spray paint graffiti on the walls. Yet you shove processed garbage, sugar, and toxins into your system and wonder why you have brain fog. You are going to adopt a new philosophy. If it wasn't made by the earth, you don't eat it. You are going to fuel yourself with G-bombs, greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, seeds. Why? Not just to look good, though you will, but because your brain is an organ and it cannot function at an elite level on cheap fuel. You need to walk. I want you walking 8,000 to 10,000 steps every single day. Walking is the only exercise proven to lower the risk of all cancers and reverse heart disease, but more importantly, it is where the mind untangles itself. Some of the greatest discoveries in human history, from Einstein to Tesla, came from moments of solitude and walking. When you are moving the body, you are moving the mind. But here is the trap you will face around month 2. The novelty will wear off. The excitement of the new you will fade, and you will be left with the grind. This is the boredom barrier. This is where the amateurs quit and the pros turn pro. You have to fall in love with the boredom. You have to embrace the repetition. Success isn't about doing 4,000 different things. It's about doing 6 things 4,000 times. It's about the miracle of incrementalism. If you improve just 1% every day, mathematically, you will be unrecognizable in 6 months. You will feel the urge to tell people what you are doing. You'll want to post a day 30 update on your story. Don't do it. Kill that ego. The moment you broadcast your goals, your brain releases a premature hit of dopamine, tricking you into feeling like you've already achieved something. Keep it locked inside. Let the pressure build. Let your results speak so loudly that you never have to open your mouth. During these 6 months, you are going to perform surgery on your social circle. This is the hardest part for people with a good heart. You have friends right now who are essentially energy vampires. They don't want you to win because your victory shines a light on their stagnation. When you disappear, they will text you. They will ask if you're mad. They will say you're acting weird. You simply tell them, I'm in the lab. I'm working on something. I'll see you on the other side. If they love you, they'll wait. If they don't, they were never your friends. They were just comfortable with your mediocrity. You have to leave them in the waiting room. You cannot drag people to the top of the mountain. They have to climb it themselves. If you try to carry them, You will both fall. And in that isolation, you are going to read. You are going to upgrade your software. If you read just 10 pages a day, that's it. Just 10 pages in 6 months, you will have read almost 2,000 pages. That is 7 or 8 books of high-level wisdom downloaded directly into your consciousness. While your competition is reading tweets and headline news, you are reading the blueprints of empires. You are learning from the masters. You are changing your philosophy because your philosophy determines your attitude, and your attitude determines your actions, and your actions determine your life. You must identify your unfinished business. We all have it. The degree you dropped out of, the business plan you shelved, the debt you stopped paying attention to, the apology you never made. This weight is dragging you down. During ghost mode, you go back into the burning building of your past and you save what needs to be saved and you let the rest burn. You cannot move forward with speed if you are dragging an anchor of regret. There will be days when you fail. There will be days when you sleep in. There will be days when you eat the junk food. This is not the end. The problem is not the slip up. The problem is the spiral. Most people miss one day and then say, well, I ruined the week, I'll start again Monday. No, you restart immediately. You restart at the very next meal. You restart at the very next hour. You don't wait for Monday. Monday is a myth. You operate in the now. You have to adopt the 5-minute rule. When you are staring at a task that feels overwhelming, the taxes, the workout, the difficult email, you tell yourself, I will just do this for 5 minutes. That's it. Anyone can endure 5 minutes. But once you break that static friction, once you are in motion, physics takes over. A body in motion stays in motion. The hardest part of the workout is putting on your shoes. The hardest part of writing the book is opening the laptop. Stop negotiating with yourself. You see, you have been treating your life like a democracy, where every part of you gets a vote. Your laziness gets a vote. Your fear gets a vote. Your insecurity gets a vote. It is time to declare martial law on your own mind. The vote is over. The decision was made when you locked that door. You are doing the work. And let's talk about anti-hustle. Ghost mode isn't about running around like a headless chicken, looking busy. It is about deep, quiet, focused work. It's about leveraging isolation. It is about saying no. No is the most powerful word in your vocabulary right now. No to the happy hour. No to the extra project that doesn't align with your mission. No to the drama. Every no to a distraction is a yes to your destiny. You are going to face the mirror ritual every night. You stand there, look yourself in the eye and ask, did I execute today? Not did I win, but did I execute? Did you keep the promises you made to yourself? Self-confidence is simply the reputation you have with yourself. If you have a friend who lies to you constantly, you stop trusting them. You have been lying to yourself for years. I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it later. You have lost trust in your own word. The only way to get it back is to stack proof. You need a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Imagine the power of walking into a room in 6 months knowing that you have done the work in the dark. You won't need to shout. You won't need to brag. You will have a dangerous level of quiet confidence. You will have the swagger of a person who has conquered their own demons. But be warned, the old version of you will fight to survive. Your brain is wired for survival, not success. It wants you to be safe, comfortable, and fed. It sees change as a threat. It sees isolation as danger. It will scream at you to go back to the herd. It will whisper, just one peek at Instagram won't hurt. Just one night out won't matter. That voice is the enemy. That voice is the saboteur. You must recognize it, label it, and dismiss it. You are retraining your dopamine receptors. You are teaching your brain to find pleasure in the effort, not the reward. You are learning to love the grind. You are learning that the obstacle is not in the way. The obstacle is the way. Every time you want to quit and you don't, you are hardening the steel. You are callousing your mind. This is why 66 days is the magic number within this 6-month journey. That is the average time it takes to install a new habit to the point of automaticity. The first 22 days are destruction. You are destroying the old you. The second 22 days are messy. You are in the transition. But the final 22 days, that is integration. That is when the new behavior becomes who you are. You don't have to try to brush your teeth. You just do it. You want to get to the point where excellence is not an act, but a reflex. Think about the compound effect. It's so easy to underestimate. If you are 1% off course in an airplane, in an hour you are a mile off. In 6 months you are on a different continent. You are correcting your course by 1% every single day. You are fixing your sleep hygiene. Lights out, phone away, circadian rhythm reset. You are drinking water, half your body weight in ounces, because a dehydrated brain is a fearful brain. You are fixing your posture. You are fixing your self-talk. You are becoming the architect of your reality. You are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of them. As you move through month 4 and 5, something strange will happen. The loneliness will stop feeling like loneliness and start feeling like solitude. You will begin to crave the quiet. You will realize that you are your own best company. You will start to have ideas, million-dollar ideas, creative breakthroughs that never could have reached you when you were drowning in noise. The signal is finally coming through. You are preparing for the reveal. But the reveal isn't for them, it's for you. The world doesn't care about your struggle. They only care about your results. And you are going to give them results that they cannot ignore. But by the time you get there, you won't care about their applause anymore. You will realize that the trophy was never the point. The person you became in the pursuit of the trophy, that was the point. So keep the door locked. Keep the phone off. Keep the head down. The storm is raging outside. But in here, in the dark room, there is only focus. There is only the mission. You are building a masterpiece. And masterpieces are not built in a day, but they are built daily. You have unfinished business. Go back to the gym. Go back to the drawing board. Go back to the relationship with your creator. Go back to the burning building and fix it. Do not look at the clock. Do not count the days. Make the days count. We are almost there. The chrysalis is tightening. The pressure is building. But remember, no pressure, no diamonds. You are being forged in this fire. Stay in the fire. You are now deep in the trenches. The initial burst of adrenaline has faded. The novelty of the new you has worn off. And the applause, even the imaginary applause you played in your head, has gone silent. This is the danger zone. This is the exact moment where 99% of people pack up their bags, unlock the door, and walk back out into the mediocrity they swore they were leaving behind. They hit what we call the motivational rock bottom. You will wake up on a Tuesday, perhaps 3 months in, and you will feel absolutely nothing. No passion, no drive, just the cold, hard reality of the work in front of you. You will look at the book you need to read, the weights you need to lift, the project you need to finish, and your brain will scream, what is the point? This is the great filter. This is the universe testing you to see if you are just a tourist in the land of greatness or if you are a citizen. You see, everyone wants the view from the summit, but nobody wants the vertigo of the climb. You have to understand that this feeling of emptiness, this feeling of grinding without a reward, is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is the definitive proof that you are on the right one. You are shedding the addiction to instant gratification. You are detoxing from the need for a constant pat on the back. You are learning the most valuable skill a human being can possess, the ability to execute without emotion. We live in a world that tells you to follow your passion and listen to your feelings. I am telling you to ignore your feelings. Your feelings are fickle. Your feelings are tired. Your feelings want to eat a donut and scroll through TikTok for 3 hours. If you listen to your feelings, you will end up exactly where you started, broke, tired, and full of regret. You must decouple your action from your emotion. You need to become a machine of execution. When the alarm goes off, you don't ask yourself, do I feel like getting up? You just get up. It is a mechanical response. It is a reflex. You are building a system where the decision was made 6 months ago, and today is just the administration of that decision. And in this silence, in this deep, monotonous grind, something miraculous begins to happen. You stop feeling lonely and you start feeling powerful. There is a profound difference between being alone and being lonely. Loneliness is a void. It's a sadness that comes from wanting to be somewhere else. Solitude, however, is a richness. It is the state of being full of yourself, your true self. When you stop frantically looking for validation outside, you start to find a well of strength inside that you didn't know existed. You realize that you are your own best company. You realize that the silence isn't empty, it's full of answers that you couldn't hear when the world was screaming at you. This is when the compound effect kicks in. For the first few months, it looks like nothing is happening. You are the bamboo tree watering itself underground. You are putting in the work day after day, and the surface remains unchanged. The people who doubted you are looking at your life and snickering. See, he's crazy. She's antisocial. They haven't changed a bit. Let them talk. They are judging the harvest while you are still planting the seeds. They don't understand the miracle of incrementalism. They don't understand that a 1% improvement compounded daily doesn't just add up, it multiplies, it explodes. By the time they see the result, it will be too late for them to catch up. You are building goal integrity. This is a concept that goes beyond just achieving a task. It is about aligning your soul with your actions. When you say you are going to do something and you actually do it, you repair the relationship with yourself. Think about how many times you have lied to yourself. I'll start on Monday. I'll do just one more. Every time you broke a promise to yourself, you severed a little bit of your self-respect. You taught your brain that your word means nothing. But now you are rewriting that code. Every time you refuse the distraction, every time you finish the set, every time you close the door on the noise, you are looking in the mirror and saying, I trust you. And that trust creates a confidence that is scary to other people. It's a quiet confidence. It doesn't need to shout. It walks into a room and owns the atmosphere without saying a word. You have to implement the 9 p.m. rule. At the end of every brutal day, when your body is aching and your mind is tired but clear, go back to that mirror, look yourself in the eyes again, but this time, don't ask who you are pretending to be. This time, say, thank you. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank yourself for not quitting. Thank yourself for fighting for the future version of you when the present version wanted to give up. This daily act of gratitude toward your own spirit seals the day. It reminds you that you are not doing this to punish yourself. You are doing this to save yourself. As you cross the halfway mark, day 90, day 100, you will notice that the hard things aren't so hard anymore. The cold shower doesn't shock you. It wakes you up. The reading isn't a chore, it's a hunger. The gym isn't a punishment, it's therapy. You have crossed the threshold of automaticity. You have rewired your neural pathways. What used to take massive willpower is now just who you are. You are no longer trying to be disciplined. You are disciplined. The habit has become the identity. You don't smoke, not because you are resisting a cigarette.